What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Storm Gaming News Week. We got a couple of news to go over, so with that being said, let's get on with the news. We finally have confirmation that Onimusha, The Way of the Sword, is now in the final stages of development. It is a very long development that Onimusha had went through and stuff, even though we still have the release supposedly for 2026. We haven't gotten a definitive date yet, even after all the showings they had for this game, which kind of goes into why I believe what they're doing. They want to get Pragmata out at least before they start going more deeper into Onimusha and stuff. So this pretty much confirmed like this is what's going on right now, honestly. But it is a little bit concerning where this game could potentially fall when it comes to releases, because we already have like a pretty large chunk of games coming out in the later half of the year, especially around the fall season. We got the supposed Gears of War E-Day, Halo, Marvel Wolverine, Phantom Blade Zero, the next Call of Duty, GTA. Like, those are some of the games from the top of my head, and there could be potentially be more. So I don't know how we're planning to squeeze all these games in the coming months. In a very surprising move, Sony is actually giving out refunds for people who bought microtransactions in Highguard. Like, this came out of nowhere when people was reporting that Sony was giving out refunds, and if you actually had the PlayStation app, you would get a notification about it, which I received, I guess, because even though I never bought microtransaction in Highguard, I did play it a little bit. So like, yeah, like Sony really didn't have to do this, but yeah, if you bought any microtransaction in Highguard, you'll be getting a refund for it. So that's a very good consumer friendly move and stuff, which is rare when it comes to PlayStation, especially when it involves refunds. But this is pretty awesome. No matter how you look at it, like, it's pretty cool. I'm kind of curious how much people pay for the microtransaction in Highguard and stuff. Well, yeah, if you bought microtransaction on Highguard, expect to get a refund on your PS5. Overwatch co-creator Jeff Kaplan reveals the reason why he left Blizzard. He said in an interview, "I got called into a CFO office and he sits me down and says Overwatch has to make X in 2020. And then every year after that, it needs a recurring revenue. And then he says to me, if it doesn't do, we're going to lay off 1,000 people and that's going to be on you." And that was the biggest fuck you moment I had in my career. Which is really crazy, because that would mean I would quit too, because like, how you gonna put that on me because you need Overwatch to make a recurring revenue and stuff? Especially, I don't know, he was definitely passionate about Overwatch and stuff, and it did blow up when it released in 2016, but putting that much pressure on me and threatening me, saying that if I failed to make Overwatch have a recurring revenue and stuff, you gotta lay off 1,000 people and you gotta put that on me. That is crazy, because like, you definitely most likely probably don't even need to lay off 1,000 people. That was most likely just a threat, the incentive to make me do the job that you want me to do. But you're not gonna put that over my head making me have to tell like, hey, if this fails, 1,000 of you got to go. You're not gonna put that on me. That is crazy and stuff. Like, I'm kind of surprised he stayed quiet on this for a while, but kind of makes sense when you think about it because he probably had a NDA on him and stuff that he cannot talk about what happened inside of Blizzard when he was there and stuff. But we have seen like people speak out about areas that they worked at and stuff, and basically tell the public like, "Hey, this is what was really going on." Like the biggest person I seen done this is like Mike Barr when he used to be at Xbox and stuff. Like he have to say he did like working over there, but he did not hold back when he talked about how he felt about it and stuff. So yeah, this is when it comes to something like this, it's nothing new and stuff. That's why like for example with Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond left their position and stuff. Like some people are like waiting to hear like of course they could once whatever NDA they're under once that expire, they are free to speak about how they felt and their experience at working at Microsoft, especially Sarah Bond, because I kind of agree with a lot of people and stuff is that she was definitely used as a scapegoat for the whole this is a Xbox marketing that they tried to push and stuff. Like I definitely agree that they try to use her for the scapegoat and stuff. And we have seen like one of the biggest reasons why she left because I guess she was most likely promised Phil Spencer position when once he retired and stuff. But when she didn't get that, she just basically just dipped and stuff. And of course, she put out a statement saying that she was grateful and all that. But that's nothing new. Whenever somebody leave a company, of course they're gonna speak, say the good stuff about it and stuff. But we have a feeling there's something more to it and stuff. Especially when you look at Satya Nadella when he gave out a statement when Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond was leaving and stuff. He did not mention Sarah Bond once in his statement. So it kind of feels like yeah, there was some type of tension going on here. What it was, we don't know and stuff, but people are patiently waiting to eventually hear how Sarah Bond truly felt working at Microsoft. IO Interactive have ended the publishing collaboration with Mindeye, and the previous planned Hitman crossover event within Mindeye will no longer be released. So, you don't know what Mindeye is. It's a game that came out, I believe it was earlier this year and stuff, that some people kind of probably say it was going to be like some type of GTA clone, I believe, and stuff. But unfortunately, when it released, it did not, it was not rated well and stuff. People didn't like it for one thing for another. It was kind of buggy when it released and stuff. But there are some people that said they did enjoy their experience with Mind's Eye. It wasn't like the best game they ever played, but it was still a fun experience for Mind's Eye and stuff. But I guess the Mind's Eye didn't do so well and stuff that IO Interactive have decided to end their publishing collaboration with them, and Hitman would not be releasing some type of crossover event that was planned for Mind's Eye, which kind of sucked because for the type of game it is, Hitman would definitely work in that universe and stuff. But yeah, but it goes further because I believe like the people who made Mind's Eye said they was purposely targeted like people somebody was paying people to speak badly of Mindeye. I believe they said they actually found the one who was doing it and stuff, but I haven't really seen like an update come out of that. Like they didn't reveal like the name or anything and stuff, so I personally don't really know. Like I thought Mindeye looked cool when it was first revealed and stuff, but then when I looked deeper into it and stuff, like how the game looked and perform, I'm just like, I don't know if this would be a game for me and stuff. I probably still would have gotten it on a sale and stuff, but I don't know. There are other games that occupy my time, so I most likely wasn't gonna get it even if it was on a sale. Maybe I would have gotten it if it was like during the dry season and stuff, and I had nothing to play at that moment. But who knows? Maybe I'll take a look at it in the future and stuff. But we'll see. There is no guarantee if I will, but I don't speak in absolutes. Like maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. We got the official ruling on the whole Subnautica 2 and Krafton court situation. The judge orders Subnautica 2 Studio CEO fired by Krafton to be reinstated and let him handle its early access release. Ted Gill is reinstated as CEO of Unknown Worlds immediately within full control of the studio. He now decides when and how Subnautica 2 launches in early access. The 250 million bonus tied to the game's success is back in play, and court filing says Krafton CEO used ChatGPT to brainstorm ways to avoid paying the bonus. Alright, I believe we probably talked about this before, about Krafton CEO was screwing over the devs of Subnautica 2, even going so far of unwilling to pay the bonuses that they rightfully earn and stuff. So now we got a official ruling on the whole court situation with that. The CEO, Ted Gill, for Subnautica 2 is being reinstated. The 250 million bonus is back in play. And the court also revealed that he was trying to use GPT try to figure out ways of not for not paying the bonus and stuff. So it's kind of crazy and stuff. Like I believe I seen people like truly like the game Subnautica and stuff. So it's kind of crazy. Like this guy was so greedy for money, which we already know how CEOs of company moves and stuff, how the suits work. They all about making that money, and if they could cut out the middleman to get more money out of it, they definitely will. So the fact that it's crazy that people who are making the game, doing their best to make it even better than the first game, you're willing to cut them out of getting bonuses because you basically want all the money to yourself, which is crazy and stuff. So probably going further down the line, we will get the announcement when they will drop the Subnautica 2 early access and stuff. But a lot of people are happy for this ruling and stuff. So we'll see how it all plays out when Subnautica 2 releases. Like after this, I could definitely see heavy support for the game and stuff because people speak highly of the first game and stuff. So we're gonna see what more come out of this going forward and stuff. We don't know if Krafton CEO is gonna try to fight this and stuff. He He probably could. I don't know. I don't know how this kind of court stuff ruling works. Maybe he could try to file for something and stuff. So we'll see how that turns out in the end. The long waited that everybody been saying that was going to happen have happened. Starfield is now coming to the PlayStation on April 7th, along with the free lanes update for all platforms. So, this came out of nowhere, honestly. But yeah, Starfield is now officially coming to the PlayStation platform and stuff. And people who plays Bethesda games who are on the PlayStation platform are excited. I believe currently right now Starfield is probably either like number one or number two pre-order game on the PlayStation Store and stuff. But yeah, people are truly excited for it. Uh, what you get in the basically what they're gonna be dropping for Starfield stuff, you have the Terrain Armada story DLC, added ability to freely fly between planets, cruise mode, decorate your ship, chat with companions, etc. while traveling, change destination on the fly. New space encounters, X-Tech, new resources to upgrade weapons, gear, etc. even further. New legendary rank for weapons, helmets, packs, and suits. New quality tier, ship optimization terminal, upgrade starborn abilities while needing new game plus. Quantum entanglement device, anchor point station, new star station with vendors and quests, new ship modules, upgrade module slots, colony war action hero collectible, more planetary POIs, new elite crew, new side quests, new moon jumper land vehicle, new enemy modifiers, weapons, skins, camera features, asteroid base home. You can now purchase a very ritzy asteroid base to call home. The PS5 version includes every update released so far, DualSense support, adaptive triggers, unique to weapons, ships, light bar, touchpad, and shortcuts. And the game will be priced at $50 for the base game, and for the deluxe edition is $70, which in my opinion, is a very awesome deal because you're getting everything that came out for Starfield so far when it comes to the expansion, and now even the new DLC that are coming out, and it will be PS5 supported, PS5 Pro supported, which a lot of games are doing right now and stuff. So it's pretty awesome. People have been waiting to try out Starfield. Will be able to do it now and stuff. And of course, this caused like a lot of funny interactions on Twitter and stuff. Like, because people have been posting screenshots of people saying like, "Oh, this game is never gonna come on PlayStation. It's a PS5 exclusive. Xbox spend this amount of money to have it exclusive and stuff." But now that the game is coming to the PlayStation platform, so people are just pulling out receipts and stuff. It just harmless little jabs and stuff. People should not really go too crazy about it. The console war is all laughs and stuff. Of course, there are some people that does take the console war very serious and stuff, and I call those people like hella weird for that. But overall, it's all just tongue in cheek jokes. Like, don't take it too serious and stuff. But yeah, Starfield is not really my type of game, so I'm not really gonna be playing it and stuff. But kudos to those who've been waiting for this and stuff. So we'll see how it's going to run on the PlayStation, because it's kind of curious how it is, because with the PS5 Pro and their new PSSR 2 that they dropped and stuff, it would be kind of interesting how Starfield will run on the PlayStation, because if it runs really good, especially on the PS5 Pro, it will make Starfield the best way to play Starfield when it comes to consoles would definitely be on the PlayStation and the Xbox. But we'll see when April 7th coming around, because I don't know if that was a smart thing to release it on April 7th and stuff, because Starfield is a pretty big game and stuff. And literally 10 days after that, you got Pragmata, which a game I'm looking forward to. So it's kind of interesting of that, but Starfield will have its own audience separate from Pragmata, so it shouldn't be too much of a trouble. It's just something that I was curious about, because I was like, oh wait, that comes out, like Pragmata comes out 10 days after and stuff. But yeah, we'll see how it performs when it releases. Shout out to Wario64. He put out the bullet points for the new PlayStation blog. Talk about the new PSSR 2.0 update has officially been released. And so far, these are the games that has the PSSR 2.0 update at launch. As time goes on, more games will be added to the list. We have Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill F, Dragon Age The Veilguard, Control, Alan Wake 2, Sensua Saga Hellblade 2, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Neo 3, Rise of the Ronin, Monster Hunter Wilds, Dragon Dogma 2, Crimson Desert. In the coming weeks, Assassin's Creed Shadows and Cyberpunk 2077. But interestingly enough, games that are using the PSSR 1.0 have received some really good updates, because when you enable 2.0, it does enhance games that are using the PSSR 1.0. So, for example, people checking out like Spider-Man 2, games that, like Call of Duty, and pretty much other games that are not on this list and stuff, which is pretty good that the PSSR 2.0 is doing it for games that technically that's not on the list and stuff. So I'm excited for that. And of course, there is a there is a list of games that is using the 1.0, which is like Pragmata, Suros, the 007, which I'm all excited for when those games launch, because those things are gonna look amazing and stuff. Even people who who went back to play the Pragmata demo that's on the PS5, and they said like the details is more sharper compared to before the update for the PS 2.0. Like you see like yeah, I forgot the little girl name from Pragmata. I think it's like is it Eve? Or something like that. Well, anyway, I honestly can't remember her name. But either way, it was said that people show like a side-by-side comparison, that her hair is more detailed and not like a blurry static and stuff. Even like big YouTuber like Maximilian, who tried out the 2.0 update on two games that I saw, which was Demon Souls Remake and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and stuff, and he was truly impressed with it. He even go far to say like this is the PlayStation 6 and stuff, which I find kind of funny because it begs the question, and we're seeing this with the PS5 Pro and stuff, and of course this is basically the test leading up to PS6, because by the time the PS6 comes out, the PSSR 2.0 is gonna be more updated going forward and stuff. So how would this game look with that is gonna be the biggest jump when it comes to like a PlayStation console, when it comes to look and details of stuff. So I mean, I'm excited for how games look and stuff. Like, I can't wait to try them out. Some games that I'm definitely looking forward to will have this update, and they could be looking like eye candy while getting a stable frame rate. But another thing that also came out from the update was they announced an update for the PlayStation Portal. Like randomly back to back, PlayStation have been dropping these news that's coming out and stuff. So it is very awesome that they're still putting out stuff for the Portal, which a new update will add a 1080p high quality mode and UX refinements and stuff that will release globally on the 18th. By the time of this recording, the update is out and stuff. Basically, it gives like a 1080p resolution, more bitrate. So basically, like a more basically like a better looking picture for a 1080p resolution and stuff. So a lot of people are excited about it. I definitely want to get into the PlayStation Portal and stuff. Like at some point I'm definitely am gonna get it, because I do plan on traveling more, and having a PS Portal with me while I'm traveling definitely will be a very exciting experience and stuff, since to help me so I won't always have to be on my phone and stuff, and I can also keep up with my gaming when I'm away from my console. So for all those PS Portal users and stuff, I hope you like this new update. Nvidia has came out with a surprising little tech video showing off their new DLSS 5 that is set to come out on the 5080 I believe it's 5080 or 5090 PCs in September and stuff. But with the review of it had caused a lot of back and forth in the community and stuff, and it goes off because of this picture right here. And this is how it looks when you have DLSS 5 off and on. And my first reaction seeing this, I was like, what the fuck happened to Grace's face? Like, me and pretty much a lot of people was even saying like, bruh, this is like some type of AI filter or something. Like, what is this? And of course they showed some other games that that will have the how it looks with the DLSS 5 on and stuff. And honestly, like, there's some games that definitely need like of course people like made jokes like Starfield would definitely need this kind of tech and stuff, judging how their NPCs look in the face and stuff. They also show like Hogwarts Legacy, how Leon look, and a couple of other stuff. And like, where I stand on this, it seems like, of course I was shocked because it definitely looked like one of those AI advertisements that randomly just popping up on social media and stuff, or like a fake AI ad for something. Or I think with like what Speed Dance 2.0, people making like versus fights using AI, try to say like, oh, Hollywood could spend this type of money. I could make this in like in 2 hours. And I'm like, y'all just a bunch of hacks who doing that. But anyway, the whole thing with the whole AI stuff, like, to be honest, like, I definitely did jump the gun. Like, I take responsibility for that because looking more into it and stuff, it is a toggle. You don't have to use it. And of course, Nvidia put out a statement saying like devs will have freedom control how like the art and stuff would. They basically have control of everything if they use DLSS. So it's basically how Grace look and stuff, making it look like it was AI and stuff. Uh, Basically, devs could make it that it wouldn't look like that and stuff. Like the whole environment stuff looks truly amazing. It just I see both sides to it. This is definitely a big improvement when it comes to visual with games and stuff, because people is always saying like what is the next big jump for games and stuff, and everybody always asking for that big jump, like trying to justify purchasing like a premium device and stuff. And honestly, this would be the thing that they're asking for. But there's also another side to it, that would this result in more? We are already getting layoffs from studios and stuff like that. Would this make it even more, make it more rampant and stuff? Because with this, you just need somebody to design the game and use the DLSS to like add like the finishing touches, I guess. I could be wrong what I'm saying, like, so don't crucify me and stuff. Like all this tech stuff, I'm not informed of. Basically, somebody who majorly use PC would know better than me and stuff. But it does cause the fear that more layoffs, people losing jobs and stuff because they're not needed because you got stuff like this. And who knows, in the future with the whole PSSR 2.0, at some point PlayStation could reach this point in time and stuff, because right now PSSR 2.0 is being compared to FSR 4.1 and stuff, because they have been working close with like AMD and making like the custom thing that's called Amethyst and stuff like that. So we could hit that point and stuff. And I think it's like a recurring thing when PC show off some new hardware or something new in general. It's immediately most likely gonna get hit with resentment and stuff, until later on like it becomes normal and consoles start reaching that point and stuff. It's pretty much a recurring history and stuff. So when it comes to this, it's a wait and see approach, because we gotta see how dev will properly utilize this while suffering artistic basically their artistic choices and stuff. Because honestly, if this is the future of games, looking like this and running at a stable frame rate, that is truly amazing. But of course, there are other studios that are somewhat against it. I believe like the CEO of Rockstar spoke upon this, that like they like people think this will replace the type of work that they could do. Even Kojima even said something about this, because if you look at Kojima and Death Stranding, they already have literally realistic people facing stuff. So in his way, he doesn't even need the DLSS 5 because he already achieved that level of realistic of faces and lighting and all that. and he's only using the Decima engine that Guerrilla Game used for the Horizon series. So it's like you could have some people that are okay with it and some people are not. For me, I jumped the gun and stuff. I didn't do the due diligence of learning more about it. That's completely my fault on it. And so it just, when I saw Grace's face, it just took me out. I was like, what the hell am I looking at? And stuff. So if you don't like it, there it is a toggle that you could turn on and off. So that how I feel about DLSS 5. We'll see by September how it's going to be and stuff, because like with every new tech, it is going to be in a rough patch until it eventually gets better over time. So we just gotta wait and see what kind of stuff that the devs could do with this new tech. Because as of right now, I believe Nvidia said it took like two 5090s to even do that, and they had all max settings and stuff. And even some of the devs from the studios that will be using DLSS 5, they were surprised about it, because it was more than likely they wasn't, like, nobody didn't talk to them about using their work to showcase the DLSS 5. And most likely the publishers and the CEO of the companies that agreed to it. So the devs who actually makes the game, they were shocked. They were first revealed about it at the same time as us, which in my opinion really sucks, because now people are looking, like, for example, Capcom, like, bro, are you guys gonna be doing this too? It is what it is. We're gonna end off the video with this. It's being reported from Insider Gaming, PlayStation is phasing out the PlayStation Network branding by September of 2026. They said changes are purely visual and will not introduce any technical alterations to its offerings. So pretty much, it's still gonna be the same. It just no longer will be called PlayStation Network. We don't know the reason for this or why they're even doing this, but apparently this happening at some type of event or conference that Sony is having. But basically, what I learned from it basically sounds like they're just merging all of Sony's stuff under one thing. So you got like Sony. You got like Sony Pictures, Sony Interactive Entertainment, PlayStation Network and stuff. It basically sounds like they're trying to unify it under one, basically just calling it PlayStation or something. I could be totally wrong about that. This kind of came out of nowhere, and like, it's definitely a head scratcher and stuff. And people have posted pictures from their PS5. Like, you go to the network settings on the PS5, and you go to, like, for your internet connection and stuff, you see that it's no longer called PlayStation Network. It's just called PlayStation. So what could this potentially be? We don't know for sure. I guess we'll see what they're planning on doing in September and stuff. Like, this just came out of nowhere, honestly, and stuff. So we'll see if it's just for visual and stuff and nothing really changes. This is basically just a rebranding of the PlayStation Network, and just more than likely they're just gonna call it PlayStation or something. So people are pretty much still gonna call it PlayStation Network and stuff. So, and this could pretty much be just a big old nothing burger. So it is what it is. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. What do you guys think? How you guys feel about the DLSS 5? Are you excited for the PSSR 2.0 games that will be supporting it? Or are you excited that Subnautica 2 will get an early access and the devs will get their justice after all? Let me know in the comments below. This is Storm. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.